Hey guys, I'm here today to do my September wrap up. So I read a ton, like the first half of September, and then things just went not good the second half. So I have a few books, but I was hoping it would be a little bit more, but that's good. So the first thing that I finished is McSweeney's. I don't know what volume this is. I think 13 maybe. Yeah, this is McSweeney's Quarterly Concern, issue number 13, and this is completely like a comic based one, so it's really cool. It has this like comic sheet as the dust jacket. I thought this was really good. It was, well, I thought it was fine for the most part. There was a lot of really, really great ones, but then a lot of ones that I was like, meh, not really, which is a risk and a thing that does happen when you do read anthologies, but I still think it's worth it, in my opinion, because you find a lot of authors and comic artists, I guess, that you wouldn't know about necessarily. Some highlights for me, I should have probably tabbed them. Oh, it does have an excerpt from, what is this? Black Hole, which I thought was really exciting because that is something that I've wanted to read, so that made me be like, oh, okay, I definitely need to get this. I thought this one was absolutely stunning. This is by Richard McGuire, and it's all kind of like from above, so you can see like this first one is a, yellow and a little bit of green, and then a guy comes out and then he starts raking the leaves, and so you can see more and more of the lawn, and then it kind of zooms out. Like, I just think these are really visually appealing, so all of them are kind of in the same style where it's overhead. I shouldn't laugh, but a little car accident and an ambulance and then like a gravestone and stuff, so, or a grave plot, a cemetery, whatever. Anyways, I thought that one was really, really visually appealing. Oh, this one was super good too. This is from The Fixer, and it's basically like I forget what his name is. It's a guy talking to, I think this man is supposed to be the journalist, and this guy over here is the fixer, but they're in some kind of war-torn country. I forget where. He's talking about like sniper rifles and all this kind of stuff, and it was really, really interesting. I'm pretty sure that is a true story. They're all really good. In general, there's like these photocopies kind of like this first comic that I guess was stolen. So like someone made this comic and then someone else stole it from them. Cat. Oh my gosh, she's losing her mind. So anyways, I did think that was really good, but not my favorite McSweeney's. And then I'm just going to talk about these two together, I guess. I read The Finer Points of Sausage Dogs by Alexander McCall Smith, and At the Villa of Reduced Circumstances by Alexander McCall Smith. These are 2 and 3 in the Professor Dr. Moritz Maria von Eigelfeld series. I think the series is called Portuguese Irregular Verbs, and it's basically this like really self-obsessed professor that thinks he's like the best at, Portuguese philology or whatever, and so stupid things happen to him. Well, he kind of makes stupid things happen to him. So in Finer Points of Sausage Dogs, he pretends to be like a veterinarian because he goes to the US and they mistake him for a different professor, and he just like goes with it, and he ends up amputating I think 3 of the sausage dog's legs. Sorry if you don't think that's funny, but it's kind of funny. And then in this one he gets taken hostage by I forget what country he goes to. Bogota. He goes to Colombia, and so he gets kind of kidnapped by this like rebel group, and dumb hilarity ensues. They're really fun and stupid and quick reads, so I enjoy it. I have not read the #1 Ladies Detective Agency though, but I will read that eventually. And then I read The Best American Non-Required Reading from 2010, and this was just phenomenal. I mentioned already a couple of stories that I really liked, but there is a George Saunders in here. One that I really, really enjoyed was 7 Months, 10 Days in Captivity by David Rode, which is about his time in captivity. I think it is the Taliban. I'm pretty sure because this came out in 2010, so he's like talking about things. So like Osama bin Laden's still alive and stuff in this, and he gets kidnapped, and it's really, really interesting. There's another one about capitalism in India and how basically if you have money, like that's all that matters and you can get away with like murder basically. There's one about a school shooting and like the effect that it has on the children. But I think that one is a short story. What is that one called? It's called like Burying Jeremy Green by Nora Bonner. That one is super, super good. The one before that too. Like I Was Jesus by Rachel Aviv is about Christian. It's members of the Child Evangelism Fellowship. So it's basically evangelists trying to get children to convert and like, you know, kind of not tricking the parents, but being like, oh, we'll give you free, like, you know, childcare. So they take the kids and the parents are all down because it's free. And then they, you know, preach to the children and try to convert them. And it's just, it's so good. The series is like really, really incredible. So there's like pieces that are, you know, just like pure fiction. And then there's even the fiction ones though, they do have like a really like deep thing, or meaning to them. There's something by Sherman Alexie. The beginning has a bunch of really funny stuff like Best American Illustrated Misconnections. So someone illustrated different misconnections, and yeah, it's just so good. Ugh, I wish everyone would read them. Then I finished The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. I feel like this is so repetitive because I've already talked about all of these, so I am sorry if you watch my weekly updates. I did think The Bloody Chamber was really good, and towards the end, let's see, Lady of the House of Love was really good, and the Werewolf and Company of Wolves ones were really good, but in general, like in the middle, it kind of got like boring. I think because there's like 2 Beauty and the Beast retellings like back to back, so there's definitely like a couple of pieces that I thought were fantastic, but in general, I just kind of thought this was like a little meh. I'm interested in reading other things by her though, so hopefully that will be nice. I also read Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar by Cheryl Strayed. This made me cry hysterically at times. I did think that it was a really, like, it was just a great read. I kind of want to buy this for my friend because she has a lot of stuff, you know, going on with her, and I feel like it's nice. Even if, like, the advice doesn't specifically apply to you, I feel like there's a lot of insight that can be gained from the advice that she gives, regardless of your situation. So I thought it was really, really lovely. And then I read The Cue by Vladimir Sorokin, and this is translated by Sally Laird, and this is basically just dialogue of people that are in a queue in the period. I feel like, I don't know if it's the Soviet Union, or I think so, Soviet Union, when everyone basically has to queue for things. And so there is technically a story that you are following. So there is one guy that's like the main guy, and you know, there's a girl in the line that he likes, and et cetera, et cetera. But it's really, really hard to tell who is saying what, how many people are involved in the conversation, because it's literally just lines of dialogue. There's no he said, she said. There's no this person left and then this person came back. It's purely dialogue. At a certain point, it becomes very clear, like it's 2 people that, you know, end up together. But I feel like if you like things very specifically like stated, then you're not going to really like this, because it is very open-ended and vague at first, and it is a little confusing, and you do have to pay attention, and I feel like a lot of people probably would not like this. I really liked it because I thought it was like really interesting, and you know, the way things work out is kind of funny, but apparently this guy's supposed to be like a really great Russian author that I've never read before, and I think his other books are not like this. So yeah, I enjoyed reading this. I don't think I would want to read another of his books if it was the same style. Like, I think one is enough for me. But I did really, really enjoy this. I thought this was you know, interesting. Although I will say I think the introduction gave away a little bit too much about the actual plot of the story in so much as there is a plot. So if you like surprises, probably don't read the introduction, but then you'll really have no idea what's going on. So really, you know, whatever you want to do. And then I did finish Like Water for Chocolate, but I'm going to talk about that in my Hispanic Heritage wrap-up. So yeah, that was it. I don't know, that seemed kind of boring, I think. If you've read any of these, let me know. If I've convinced you to read any of the Best American series, let me know. They're so good, people. They're so good. Yeah, so hopefully this month, yeah, I don't know, I just feel kind of meh about these books a little bit. Like, I really liked Tiny Beautiful Things and the Best American Non-Required Reading, but everything else was kind of like 3.5 star. I want some like 4.5 star reads. Let's do it, right? I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.